We invite someone to Islam, we have to argue with them in ways that are most beautiful. We cannot threaten them. This is the job of the couch potato. Reviling the religion of others is such a short-sighted, shallow focus. When one can invite with beautiful messages, here's another example, a beautiful example, but it needs construction. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ إِنَّا فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And among his signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth. And the variations in your languages and your colors, verily these are signs for those who know. Diversity was not created to terrify us. Diversity was created to fascinate us. Diversity did not happen because of social chaos. Diversity did not happen because a science experiment went bad. Diversity happened because Allah willed it. Diversity is evidence of Allah's creative genius. My respected Muslims, we have to prepare. To invite people to Islam, we have to be working. We cannot sit on the couch with a bowl of popcorn. That's the couch potato. Our job is to strive. Now let's enter into the third dimension. We've been thinking in the first and the second. Now let's briefly enter the third dimension. Today we are under attack. We are under attack by reverse values, upside down values. What's that? What's reverse values? Here are two very basic examples. Some people don't like these examples. Today we spend more time on our cell phones than we spend worshipping Allah. Upside down value. Hazrat Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, as Amirul Mu'mineen, used to sneak out at night to feed the hungry. Today our leaders feed on the poor. Reverse values, upside down values. We are under attack. To survive these upside down values, we must learn to swim against the current. We have to run uphill against very strong headwinds. Couch potato does not like that. It's hard work. He prefers to recline on the couch. He doesn't want to challenge himself by implementing the rigors of Islam. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam showed us how to swim against the current. At least in this one episode. When Musa alayhi salam was trapped between a rock and a hard place. The Red Sea in front of him and Fir'aun's state-of-the-art army behind him. He did not recline on a couch. He did not sit back and do nothing. He ran uphill against strong headwinds. And everyone around him was singing the song of surrender. Everyone around him was singing the song of surrender. What is that? فَلَمَّا تَرَاءَ الْجَمْعَانِ قَالَ أَصْحَابُ مُوسَى إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. We will surely be overtaken. Singing the song of surrender. Musa alayhi salam sprinted uphill against a strong headwind. What did he do? He declared his dependence upon Allah. He did not sit back and do nothing. He declared his dependence upon Allah. قَالَ كَلَّا إِنَّا مَعْيَا رَبِّي سَيَحْدِينَ. My Lord never, he says never, my Lord is with me, soon shall he guide me. He swam against the current. He did something about it. He did not sing the song of surrender. You know, when Allah sees sincere faith, when Allah sees uncompromising iman, the impossible becomes reality. On this occasion, Allah rewrote the rules of fluid mechanics. He split the ocean. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَىٰ أَنِ اضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْبَحْرَ فَانْفَلَقَ فَكَانَ كُلُّ فِرْقٍ كَالطَّوْدِ الْعَظِيمِ. Then we told Moses, Musa alayhi salam, by inspiration, strike the sea with your rod, and so it parted, and each part became like a giant face of a mountain. My respected Muslims, when we swim against the current, when we declare our dependence on Allah and do something about it, the impossible becomes reality. Not in the world of the couch potato, however. Talking about sprinting uphill, here's an upside down value that has international significance. Today, all nations are engaged in one super hobby. What is that? Amassing weapons of mass destruction. Even poor countries, countries who cannot feed their hungry, countries who cannot educate their children, countries who cannot employ their people, countries who literally cannot keep their lights on, countries who need an international handout to live from day to day, spend billions and billions on killing machines. They cannot educate their children. They spend billions on killing machines. What is their objective? The ultimate objective is to extinguish life by pressing a button. With such a destructive mindset, will we ever remember Allah's recipe for peace? If I am just surrounded by this destructive mindset, every moment the message of mass destruction is being echoed in my brain, will I remember Allah's message of peace? Recipe for peace? What is this? وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ إِدْفَعْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. Evil and goodness are not equal. Repel evil with good, and then your greatest enemy will become your greatest ally. To defeat upside down values, we have to become spiritually, physically, intellectually engaged. We cannot sit back on the couch. We have to be engaged. Unfortunately, too many of us are falling asleep on the couch with our cell phones in our hands. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to face the challenges that lie ahead, to educate our children, to motivate them, to get them to move, and in so doing, simulate the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and fight against all the diabetes, the cholesterol, and the other problems which are a sign of our times. Jazakumullahu khair. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for your attention. If there's something that is not clear to you and you'd like me to repeat it, I will repeat it, inshallah. There's something that I said that you disagree with, we can talk about that as well. But these are the facts of our deen. They're not always good to listen to, but I have to be pointing a finger here. Pointing a finger at everybody else doesn't help. I have to be pointing a finger at myself. Is there anything you want me to repeat? Is there anything that was hazy? Anything that was not clear? I will repeat, inshallah.
We have 10 minutes.
But this whole aspect of challenging ourselves to be excellent, this is the ticket of our time. Being excellent can translate into many, many finite actions. I could learn several ayahs from the Quran with its translation and implementation, and that would take me one step further. And with it, I must remember to take my children. It's not good enough for me to sit in an isolated venue and do this. I have to take my grandchildren with me. I have to say, let's do this together. And you are better than me. You have a much more gymnastic mind than I have. So you can learn it much quicker than I can. These efforts at motivating our younger people is excellent. We can also go as far as demonstrating the use of our technology to them. Here's positive use of our technology, and here is negative use which we should avoid. We have to talk about things to our families in language that they understand. We cannot just shelter ourselves from all technology, from all progress. We have to educate, but we've got to balance our education. So what I do is I like to write myself 5 points, 5 things that I will implement for the week, for the month, and go with that. And that way there's a challenging, moving target, and at the same time taking everybody with me. Monday, great day to fast. Let's do it as a family. The days are getting easier. But once we start talking to our children and grandchildren about this, one day they will remember. That old guy, he had a message. And he supported his message with anecdotes from the life of Rasulullah. Never in isolation. Here's what Rasulullah did. Let's read what he did. These grandchildren, these children of ours are amazing. Their emotional gymnastics, their mental gymnastics are second to none. They can get A pluses, but they can get more than that. They can become the leaders. The point at which my grandchild tells me, it's time for Maghrib Salah. You haven't gone to the masjid, but let's do it here. We have arrived. These are just little finger pointers that we must use on ourselves. These upside down values are really crowding us out. It's almost acceptable. But we have to be very discerning about upside down values. We have to be looking at it, critically assessing it. I gave you 2 very simple upside down values, but there are deeper ones than those as well. Some of them are over-forgiving, over-accommodating of very negative practices. I have a meeting, and therefore I can do this salah later. But we have to implement levels of resistance. If I mentioned it 3 times at work, that meeting does not accommodate my life ambitions, the 3rd time they listen to me. Then they finally are telling me, shouldn't you be somewhere else? This is not the time for you to be here. Shouldn't you be at the masjid? But I have to implement 3 levels of resistance before this happens. Unfortunately, I very easily accept the reverse value. And that is, I'll compromise with this. Every compromise I make is a step down. Don't forgive myself so easily. We can do anything, but we can do it in a very constructive, harmonious, and cooperative way. We don't shout these sort of things out at a meeting. I can't, this doesn't work to me. One-on-one, gradually, gracefully, knock at the door and very gently talk about this to one supervisor. But again, it is the akhlaq of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam which we have to learn. Anyway, I've spoken a lot.
So I remember from last time that you said you don't use a cell phone. Is that still the case?
I don't have a cell phone, but I do not talk. I don't say it's not useful. I just do not want to be traced, trailed, trolled, every one of my actions fully understood. I want only Allah to know that.
Pretty amazing.
I have a phone at my desk. I have a phone at home. My wife is at home 24 hours, alhamdulillah. If she cannot alert me to an incoming message, something's wrong. I coordinate a lot of the burials at Masjid As-Safat. I have never failed because someone could not contact me. I have a phone right at my desk, and I have my wife at home to take any message that